An Auckland businesswoman set up a breakaway pop-up Pasifika, saying it's unfair the festival's been cancelled when other events haven't been. Auckland Council today canned the festival due to be held at Western Springs this weekend over concerns that Covid-19 could be transmitted back to the islands, like last year's devastating measles outbreak. That's even though the risk is very low. New Zealand doesn't currently have community transmission and only has 5 confirmed cases. Businesswoman Laura Keill Hall is inviting disappointed Pasifika stallholders, including those from the islands, to set up at South Auckland's Pacific Business Hub. But it comes with the disclaimer: people enter at their own risk.
People would have already flown in from the Pacific Islands with merchandise, with everything, so I feel for them. And this is not just also a matter of, financial impact on them. It's also the mental well-being for our vendors as well, because there's going to be a lot of pressure, a lot of stress of how they're going to offload some of the product and some of the merchandise that they've spent probably months trying to get together.
So, Laura, you're expecting some of the overseas stallholders to take advantage of this pop-up market?
Yes. And just to point out as well that last year when Pasifika Festival was cancelled, we stepped in as well and helped some of the vendors that were affected last year. So
I can understand.
Yeah, sorry.
Can understand what you were trying to do here, but the reason that Pasifika was cancelled is there is a worry that people will travel back to the islands and could transmit the infection. So isn't what you're doing, well, it's counter to all the things that cancelling this event is trying to achieve, isn't it?
No, we're quite aware of the reasoning why they cancelled it. I mean, they're talking about cancelling Pasifika because there's people traveling from the Pacific Islands specifically for Pasifika. Yes. But then they're also saying that, they're not cancelling other major events, which is, I understand, some people from the Pacific as well will travel to those as well. So what's the difference? I mean, they've mentioned that, with the continued vigilance, the chance of widespread community outbreak is expected to remain low. So, I mean, we've done this, but we've also put it out there that, we're all responsible for our health and safety at all times. So we're saying to people, if you're actually developing symptoms of fever, cough, or shortness of breath, to please seek medical advice and not to come to the event.
So you don't actually think there's a risk from doing what you're doing?
There's risk in everything that we do. There's a risk of everything that we do every day on our daily lives,
So what, you think it's worth taking the risk in this instance?
I'm not going to say that it's worth taking the risk because, again, like I say, there's risk in everything that we do every day. I probably have, much better, I don't know how to say it, but risk of actually getting run me over by a car when I walk outside than catching the virus here tomorrow. So I don't know.
Should Pasifika have been cancelled in your view then?
I think the time frames they have given, I think it's really unfair. To answer your question, to be honest, I don't think they should have. I know that there's some Pacific Islands that have actually put, some precautions in place to mitigate some of the issues and some of the concerns. So, yes, I think they should have gone ahead and not cancel Pasifika.
You say that there are some other events going ahead. Why do you think they cancelled Pasifika and not the other events?
That's something that you probably need to ask the people that made the decision.
How would you feel, though, Laura, if people come along to this pop-up event and something does happen, that there is an infection that is taken back to one of the islands?
I've got nothing to say to that because I don't know what's going to happen and I cannot predict the future. And, I'm sorry, I got nothing to say to that. Like I mentioned before, each and every one of us has a responsibility for our own health and safety. So if people take the risk of coming or going to public spaces, that's on them.
Okay, so that seems to go against the advice of the Ministry of Health. So you're happy to go ahead anyway?
Yes, I'm happy to go ahead anyway.
And that is Laura Keill Hall, who is setting up, well, basically a breakaway Pasifika.